This fragrance hobby is quite interesting because it's all subjective, and it's funny because of that. And sometimes there are fragrances that are extremely popular, super hyped, that I love as well. But at the same time, there are fragrances that are extremely hyped that I just don't understand the hype. And some fragrances that are not talked about that I love. And so there are so many different opinions on the same fragrances, and that's what makes this hobby very special. But this video is about fragrances that are hyped, very popular, or they are newer releases, but I just really don't get them. So let's talk about these. Hi everyone, I'm Joe from Scented Moments channel, where I help you to discover the amazing world of perfumery. In this video, I will talk about 10 fragrances that I just don't get the hype. Some of these are more hyped than others, definitely, but in the end, these are all popular. I'm not saying that they should not be, I'm just saying that they are not for me, and that's why I don't understand the hype. And so the first one is, of course, a very obvious one, Baccarat Rouge 540. Baccarat Rouge 540, the Eau de Parfum. The extrait is not as bad, actually. The extrait, I will give more opportunities, especially on my skin. But the Eau de Parfum specifically, it's horrid on my skin. It's really just a bag of sugar, cotton candy, and this enveloped into this latex material, basically. It's literally how this Baccarat Rouge smells like for me, the Eau de Parfum, and it's really now everywhere. You have like tons of clones, tons of inspired by fragrances, but Baccarat Rouge specifically, the DNA, not for me. The extrait, not as sweet, more long lasting. I would still give a second opportunity to the extrait version, but the Eau de Parfum, definitely I don't understand. I mean, really don't understand. Sugar with latex, a bit of cotton candy in there, and that's it. But yes, that's now it's the trend apparently. The other fragrance that I also do not understand why it's so praised is from Initio Oud For Greatness. And Oud For Greatness is in the same for me, in the same category of Baccarat Rouge. The only difference is that Oud For Greatness is not as sweet, it's not as sugary, and it has some woods in there. Now, the name says Oud For Greatness. Personally, I do not detect any oud. Doesn't mean that doesn't have any real oud in there. I'm not saying that, but what I'm just saying is that I can't smell it. Me specifically, I can't smell the oud in there. And so for me, it smells like a toned down, a more serious version, let's say an older brother of Baccarat Rouge Eau de Parfum. I really don't understand the appeal as well. Another fragrance that I also do not understand the appeal, although this is not as popular, definitely not as popular as Oud For Greatness and Baccarat Rouge, but it's very well praised in the fragrance community, especially during the high heat. And it's from the house of Etat, Libre, and it is You or Someone Like You. I had high hopes with this fragrance. High hopes because I love mint, and mint is a tough note to do because usually we associate mint with toothpaste, and so it's hard to create this very natural smelling, herbal, fresh, minty accord. But in You or Someone Like You, where it's what I was expecting because everyone was talking about how great the mint was. Not great, not for me at least. Very artificial smelling, and it's not like in the toothpaste. It doesn't give me, I mean, it has a bit of a toothpaste feel, but it's not that. It really, because it's very artificial, it's hard to explain, but it's not the mint that I was expecting to smell. And the performance also is not great at all. But what I was really curious and very interested and very hyped about, it was about the mint. And no, not great. It's very artificial smelling type of mint. I can't even explain, because it doesn't have the typical toothpaste feel. It has a bit, but it's hard. It's a very harsh, fresh, green, herbal type of smell, but it's again very harsh. I would even dare to say that it's cheap smelling. And from the house of Etat, Libre, Orange, because I actually do appreciate the brand, and I think they are they have unique creations, definitely, and I have quite a few of them. But yeah, you or someone like you really, at least on my skin, no, didn't work out, unfortunately. Next fragrance, this is a designer. I think this was released last year. I think it was released last year, but I know it's very new, brand new, released from Hugo Boss. And I tried yesterday, actually, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video, because yesterday I had the opportunity to smell the newer designer releases, the popular, some of the most popular fragrances, and the majority of them, it's just like, okay, it's just this. It's really just this. And this fragrance from Hugo Boss is one of those examples as well. So it's the scent Elixir. And Elixir, now the Elixir for me is a new Oud. You just put Elixir and then you charge a niche price just because you have Elixir. That's it. So Elixir is the new Oud. But the scent, I don't mind the scent DNA. It's a unique and strange one, because you have that Meninga fruit, that sweet Meninga fruit, which in some flankers you have more chocolatey, more of a cacao chocolate accords. They're more vanillic. So I mean, it's an interesting DNA, I would say. But the scent Elixir, oh man, it's so sweet and artificial. It's for me, it's like a cherry, like a bomb of sweet cherry liquor, which doesn't sound bad, but the moment I smell it, it's because it's still artificial. So, and cherry is not even featured as an official accord, so I don't know if it has cherry or not. Although the color red, because the bottle actually looks really nice, I don't know if the color red maybe give me an impression of a cherry, but I don't know. I just know that I smelled cherry, like this very artificial, very sweet cherry liquor accord with some vanilla and that Meninga fruit. Whoa, no, not for me at all. No, I didn't enjoy it. Too sweet. It's really very sweet right from the opening. So yes, definitely not for me. Another fragrance, but this one is a hype beast, and I don't understand why. I really do not understand why. It is by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It is Le Male Elixir, and I don't understand why. The reason why nowadays Jean-Paul Gaultier, it's so popular. They just released the new it's a new flanker. I know they released a new flanker, and it's so damn popular. Everyone's talking about that now. Last year, Elixir, Le Male Elixir, everyone talking about it. I don't understand why Jean-Paul Gaultier now it's so popular, but Elixir, I don't understand. I do not understand why. Because again, just like the scent, but Elixir, it's even more, which is unthinkable, but it is. Elixir is a sugar bomb. It's just the most harsh, synthetic, sugar, bubblegummy type of perfume. What's the appeal? Why it's that popular? Is it because of the gold bottle? Because of the torso? I don't understand. For me, long lasting for sure, which is not a good thing for me, of course, but man, it's just that. It's just a sugar bomb, and very artificial sugar bomb. And really, like, I understand like the young people, like the teens out there searching for this type of fragrance, for sure. Hey, I wore Ultramalt, and I still have Ultramall, the original Ultramall. I love for nostalgic. I love the Jean-Paul Gaultier not Eau Très Fresh, but Eau Fresh, the Eau Fresh version with the Popeye Eau Fresh. I love it because it's nostalgic for me, but because there was a time for that. When I see like grown up fragrance reviewers and experienced fragrance reviewers like praising Elixir like the best thing ever released, it's like, really? I mean, really? Is it? Yeah, that's a thing that I don't understand, but well, it's just me again. It's just my odd, weird opinion. But yes, this just to say that Le Male Elixir, it's just again a sugar bomb. If you didn't try it, you're not missing anything. And the next fragrance, this is from the house of Tom Ford, just released, and of course now everyone is talking about it. And this one is called Vanilla Sex. It's another vanilla. It's exactly what we needed, isn't it? but still, I was definitely curious to try. Low expectation. So I tried yesterday. Oh man, it's a clone. If it's not a clone, then it's inspired by fragrance, because I already smelled that and it's exactly or very close to smell like Velvet Tonka by BDK Parfum, which I have absolutely love. Vanilla Sex is nothing more than licorice almond vanilla. So it has this sweet licoricey, almondy, creamy feeling to it. The Vanilla Sex. And it's exactly how it smells Velvet Tonka. And Velvet Tonka was released like a few years ago already. So I'm like, really? This is it. It's like heavily inspired by fragrance of BDK Parfum Velvet Tonka, basically. Just go with the BDK one and you will spare a few bucks, and at least you'll have a 100 ml, and the fragrance is better, I would say. I'm not saying that Vanilla Sex smells bad, not at all, but it's Tom Ford. It's much better than that. I mean, that's in the end, that's what I'm saying. Tom Ford is much better than that. The legacy of Tom Ford demands better releases. But well, it is what it is. But Vanilla Sex, it's huge disappointment. It is what it is. The next fragrance that is super popular, very popular, one of the most popular fragrances out there at the moment, from the house of Kilian, and it is Angel Share. Now, I'm not saying that Angel Share smells bad. No, actually, I think it smells good. It's a nice, delicious, gourmandy fragrance, like with that, like vanilla, cinnamon, honey. Like it's really a bit boozy. It's delicious. It smells really good. But I don't understand why it's so that hyped. How come it got that hyped? And nowadays it has like hundreds of clones, hundreds. When Angel Share is heavily inspired by Ambre Narguilé by Hermes, from the Hermes line. And to be honest, Ambre Narguilé smells better. And before Angel Share, you still have Parfum de Marly Owajan, which is already like quite inspired by Ambre Narguilé. It's just a more intensified version of Ambre Narguilé. And so it's like you already have Ambre Narguilé, you already have Owajan, and now you have Angel Share. But Angel Share is the one that, whoa, it's like they discovered gold, basically. I don't know why. I don't know how come this fragrance is so it's that popular, so hyped, when you already have Ambre Narguilé, which is the original in this type of DNA by Hermes, and it smells amazing. I have it on my wish list forever. And then you have Owajan, which I have actually absolutely love. Angel Share, because I literally thought, well, Angel Share, it's very similar to Ambre Narguilé and Owajan. It's nice, smells nice, definitely, but redundant. But well, for some reason, it really like boomed. But I don't understand that. I really don't understand that hype. Again, not because I don't appreciate the Sentinel, I do. It's just because it's a redundant release. It's still a great fragrance, but it's just, I think it's very redundant. And if there is a fragrance that deserves that hype, is Amber Naculé. But that's just me. The next fragrance, this is from the house that I love. I absolutely love this house. One of my all-time favorites, Xerjoff. But I mean, I will not love all of the Xerjoff fragrances. And this one specifically, I do like, but it's extremely overpriced. And I think it's just not worth it. And I think it's redundant within the Xerjoff collection. And it is Accento slash Accento Overdose, the flanker. I do prefer Overdose. I definitely do prefer Overdose from the bottle, from the smell, from the performance, because basically Accento and the Overdose, it's a fruity, floral, sweet fragrance. So the fruitiness comes from the pineapple. It's creamy, vanillic, floral with some jasmine in there. I don't know if it has tuberose or not, don't recall, but definitely has some jasmine. But again, it's a fruity, sweet floral fragrance, which it's a type of perfume that Xerjoff already has within their portfolio, from La Capitale, from even Erba Pura. And so it feels like another, and they also have one that I absolutely love, which is Cruz del Sur 2, which is the most delicious, creamy mango fragrance. So they already have quite a few fruity fragrances in their portfolio, and this is another fruity fragrance, but this one is extremely popular. I don't know if it's as popular as Erba Pura. I love Erba Pura though, and here a lot of people might say Erba Pura is very synthetic, very harsh. I do get that, but I love it. I love Erba Pura, but Accento, it feels redundant. It feels a bit redundant. So again, I don't understand why it's so popular, but well, hey, doesn't. I'm not saying that it smells good. I'm just saying that, again, just like Angel Share is redundant, I think Accento and the Overdose flanker, I think they are redundant within the Xerjoff universe. The next fragrance, this is from House of Mancera, and this is so popular as well. It is Red Tobacco. And they already have, they just released, I think it was last year, like the intense version of Red Tobacco, if the Red Tobacco was not intense enough. But Red Tobacco, for me, it's very harsh and very artificial smelling. It's very plasticky. It has this plastic feel right in the opening, and it doesn't smell pleasant. It's also a bit sweet, like plasticky sweet with some tobacco in there. I don't understand the appeal, for me at least. And now, and that fragrance is extremely long lasting, and they just released, I did not try because I'm not interested in that Sentinel, but yes, Mancera just released the intense version, so good grief. but again, I'm not saying that you should not try it. You should definitely try. Actually, you should try all of these fragrances that I mentioned, because they might work for you. They just don't work for me, the majority of them. Just a couple of them that I really don't understand the appeal because they feel redundant. But yes, Red Tobacco, it's not about the redundancy part. It's really about the fact that it doesn't smell good, for me at least. And the last fragrance, this is from a brand that I absolutely love. I'm always talking about this brand, and it is Amouage. And Amouage has one of the best fragrances ever created. But yes, this fragrance specifically released last year. I think it didn't got the same hype that some other of their newer fragrances had, I think. But it's still popular because it's one of their newer releases, and it is King Blue. And King Blue is from the Opus collection. So King Blue, oh man, such a dud for me. The King Blue opens up with a blast of this animalic oud accord. Very funky, very challenging, daring, like an Amouage should smell. But then, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, Like that's just the opening, which lasts just a few minutes, and then you get this sweet cotton candy type of scent, Baccarat Rouge like. So this for me, it's like Baccarat Rouge with some animalic oud in the opening. That's it. This is not Amouage. That's not what Amouage should be. Amouage should be breaking barriers, like they always did, with very unique creations. King Blue is definitely one of them. It's really... I also don't understand the name King Blue. I don't understand. I don't know the story behind the naming of the fragrance, like King Blue. I just don't like. I don't understand like why King Blue doesn't sound luxurious. Doesn't sound appealing. At least not for me. Not from a brand like Amouage. But yes. But what really matters is the scent inside, and the scent inside is really disappointment. Was really disappointed. But well, it is what it is. But yes, King Blue definitely not for me. Definitely not for me. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was more of a negative type of video, which has been a while since I did one. But again, don't be offended by this. It's just my opinion in the end. You can definitely and you should enjoy these fragrances if you do so. If you share my opinions, okay, of course, great. If you're not, also, there will be fragrances that I love and you don't. So, I mean, that's the beauty again of this fragrance hobby. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. Ciao.